Hello, this is Dr. Zek. On this channel, we discuss how to make money and create generational wealth through business, hustling, and also through career progression and development. Today, I'm going to be warning you about the mistakes that you should avoid when doing business. I've made my mistakes, and I've also learned from other people's mistakes. So I want you to learn from what I'm going to be outlining today. Mistake number 1, failing to adapt. When you're in business, you must move with time. You must follow trends and adjust and change quickly. Failing to do so will result in you being overtaken by events. I'll give you an example. I was a pioneer in setting up a business at a certain shopping center. I was the first one there. First few months, everything was flowing. I was enjoying monopoly of customers because I didn't have any competition. Few months down the line, some people also start trickling in. I had to quickly adjust and make several changes to keep up with the new players in the business. Otherwise, that's going to be the end of me. That's going to be the end of my business. You shouldn't be complacent. Plan in the long term. Be open-minded. Watch out for the new players. Watch out for the new competition. Watch out for what the new needs of people are. The other mistakes that you should avoid at all costs is to fail to embrace technology. The world is changing every day. Technology is taking over everything. If you don't embrace technology and make use of it to your advantage, it means your rivals will always overtake you. You will lose customers to them. Why? They might automate some things, and as they do that, they manage to reduce their labor cost. They can afford to cut prices and have a lower prices than yours and still make a good profit. The next mistake that you need to avoid is to fail to grow. When you're running a business, you need to grow. Grow it. Don't stay stagnant. Don't be complacent. If you remain where you are, tomorrow you won't be relevant. Grow. Growth makes you stay relevant on the market. Don't try to grow too fast, because also if you grow too fast as well, it has got some other issues as well, technical issues, running out of cash. You just grow, but avoid growing too fast or too slow. The other mistake is failing to have discipline. You need a high level of discipline in business. Don't get too excited if you make profits. Don't get too excited if you make money and start squandering it. Always know that you need some more money to reseed into the business. If by some chance you crack a jackpot and you get a windfall, reinvest in the business and use it to grow and expand. Always learn to separate business and personal affairs. Some people upgrade everything as soon as they get a few extra dollars. The other mistake that you should avoid is to recruit quickly. The golden rule of recruitment is always take your time to recruit. Recruit slow. Be as slow as possible to recruit. Remove bad apples as soon as possible before they spread bad habits to other people, to other staff. But also when you are recruiting, take your time and try to recruit the best. Don't use emotions when you are recruiting staff. Don't recruit people just because they are your friend, just because they are a relative. That can backfire very quickly. If you recruit a person because it's a relative, the day you're going to fire them, the whole clan will turn against you, because there's some social attachment to that. Business should be business, family matters should be family matters. Only recruit on merit. If that family member is qualified enough and experienced enough and can fit into your team well, you can recruit that person. There's no harm in doing that. There's a lot of successful businesses who are run by families. but in most cases, it usually doesn't work. Another mistake is to failing to consult. When you're running a business, it's always important to consult, especially if you're a startup. You still need a lot of mentorship from other people who are more experienced than you, people who know better, people who have been in the game for longer than you. You need to consult with them, even if it means paying a fee. It's okay. It's even cheaper to do that than the cost of not having proper guidance. It's always good to learn from your own mistakes, but it's even better to learn from other people's mistakes. So always consult, always check with people who are already in the game. That will save you a lot of time, and that can make you a more efficient business person. Another mistake is not to be on the ground. Some people want to run businesses remotely. It is very difficult, especially if you're a startup. If you haven't set systems that are efficient enough for you to operate from home, you need to be on the ground. Business is very risky, it's very tricky, and not everyone has got that much love that you have for your business. Not every person will be affected the same way you do when the business goes bust. Don't expect too much from employees. It's your business, it's your baby. You should carry the heaviest load. You should be the leader because it's your baby. When you have this profit, you have got the lion's share, and that's what goes with it. Some people are never on the ground. They use mobile phones to run a business. If you want to know how quickly you can fall in business, is try to run it through a mobile phone. Try it and you learn the hard way. Another mistake is to failing to make a succession plan. Every business, you should always have a succession plan. You might think you're invincible when you've got the energy, when you've got the stamina. One day, things can just suddenly fall. You might have an accident. You might fall ill. You might die. You don't want your business to die with you when you die. If you don't want to train others, or at least train your children, at least train your spouse, so that they take over when things don't go the way you're expecting. When things go wrong, your husband will be in charge, will take care of your business. Your wife will take care of your business, your child. If no one knows how to operate or how to manage the business, and you die, that's the end of it. That's a big loss. And that's not what generational wealth means. Make a plan to transfer the skills, your knowledge, to make sure it's passed on to the next generation. That's why I wrote this book, 10 Simple Steps to Build Sustainable Generational Wealth. I've got a chapter that I wrote in this book about succession planning. This book has been published this year. It's a recent book. Another terrible mistake is to fail to watch for competitors. Like I said in another point, you need to constantly watch for your rivals, what they're doing. Big players do that as well. They send out their staff to check the prices from their rivals and bring the information and use that to manage competition. It's a tactic. Business is a game. If you don't know how to play the game well, you're out of business. If you know how to play it well, it's got a lot of rewards. But if you don't know how to play it well, you can regret the day you were born. The other mistake that you need to avoid is to accumulate too much debt. There are some people who have got a habit of binging on debt. As soon as they realize that the bank can offer them cash, they try to get as much as they can get. If the bank is offering them 20,000, they take it all. If the bank is saying we have got $1 million, they want to take it all. Debt can be very good, it can be very useful if used in a proper way. But at the same time, it can kill you. If possible, it's always good to just grow slowly using your own cash. If you need, just borrow as little as possible to keep going and then reinvest your profit. Otherwise, you end up working for the bank. And at the end of the day, you realize that you haven't achieved anything. All these years you have been working, you haven't achieved much. You've been just working to pay off the interest. Lucky if you finish. Some people never finish paying off their debts. That is not a good situation to find yourself in. Debt is not a good thing. If you're using the debt properly, you can use it to accumulate assets that generate wealth, that generate income or passive income. But if you use debt wrongly, it backfires on you. So borrow what you can afford to pay back very quickly. If possible, avoid debt altogether. Cash flow. Cash flow is the lifeblood of any business. If you run out of cash, it's very difficult to maintain operations. Your day-to-day running of the business requires cash. So always have enough cash available for the day-to-day expenses. Failure to market. I think I discussed in another video how you can improve your selling skills, how you can improve your marketing skills. If you haven't watched the video, go and watch that video. You will learn a lot of how best you can sell, how you can improve your selling skills, because selling is the #1 skill that you require in business. I made a video specifically for selling because I know the importance of selling. I know that a lot of people don't have that natural talent of selling. Some people are born sellers, they just sell without effort. But most of us require a bit of effort to sell, and you need a bit of skill that you can learn. Another mistake is ignoring social media. Social media is becoming a thing. It's a new kid in town. You can't afford to ignore social media. Have a Facebook page, Twitter. You don't have to be on every social media platform, but choose the one that you like. Use YouTube, do some videos like I'm doing. Facebook, have a Facebook page. Twitter, have a handle. Instagram. Because this is where the people are spending a lot of time on. And these people are your customers. You can get them there. That's where you can find them. If you don't know where to find your customers, you struggle with the market. Embrace technology. Don't go on social media to just play. Go on social media to do business. Use social media to your advantage to do business. Ignore this advice at your own peril in business. Because with the way the world is going, 10 years time, 20 years time, everything will be online. Don't say Dr. Zach didn't tell you, I've told you, I've warned you. I'll keep watching you. The other mistake that you should avoid at all costs is failing to invest in the long term. On the other video, I talked about investing the profit you have into assets that give you passive income. When you make a profit big enough in business, invest that money to multiply it. Buy properties, because when you buy property, that generates rental money, and that rental money is passive income that you can live on forever, the rest of your life. Those are true assets, things that generate money for you without having to do much, because business is very volatile. You can't rely on business as an investment. It's not a very good strategy because things are always changing and things can go wrong anytime. But when you invest in property, when you've got your money in property, whatever happens, your property is still there. If you go, if you die, your beneficiaries will inherit your properties. Go in business, grow, expand, take the profit and invest. into a property. Carry on with the business. Any coming profit, invest in property. Eventually you have wealth that you can pass to the next generations. That is generational wealth. Invest in things that last forever. This is the education that we are giving you. This is the education that I'm trying to share with you for free. I'm just giving you these free lectures. No one is paying anything here apart from just your internet bills. But people ignore this. I wish you well in business. I hope you avoid the mistakes that I've just outlined. Don't be a victim. Press the like button if you like the content. And don't forget to subscribe. Share the content as well. This is Dr. Zek signing out.